Alright, welcome back to another episode of my Sketchy Contract Beginner series. This time, for real, to beat the 900 quota. I have started over again because of the patch we just get out regarding the matchends, but now we will try to beat the game another time. And I start by doing something which sounds a little bit weird, but it really helps me personally when I go for higher quotas. So you don't have to do it at all, but I personally like to sort my things that I get over value or over quota by price, so that I really know here are my uneven numbers, and then I have here some even numbers like 8, so that I really know where my things are when I need to my quota. Alright. Always check again if you skilled, and then head back in, just starting a fresh round to reach a quota of 900 and plus. With the boombox it should be very easy to not die when you take a slow approach. Always heal after you have a fight and something like this, then you usually will be able to survive the early game from this point on easily. So I will try to push a little bit through the first few things, so we will hopefully reach quickly some early code to head off to the tier 1 area, the orange one. We usually in our group call this tier 0. And orange is tier 1. Again, it sounds ridiculous, but just heal after any fight and you will be fine. I now hear the beep of mine, so be careful about this. And also the sound of this enemy. Again, it is fine. You can fight it. And you also, when you have something like this, can try the following. Place your boombox down first and then start a fight, so you can counter heal while in a fight. That is a very used mechanics for higher quota, when, for example, fighting a Nightwalker or something, or basically any enemy. You will place down your music box and your boombox so that you can heal a little bit against. You don't really have to dodge anymore. Still try to learn dodging, but if you don't have the stamina yet to dodge, it is completely fine. Also, I try to make these piles in early intersections. For example, like here. Don't dash into a mine. It is the worst die you can, or death you can die, when you dodge into something that explodes, either a boomboard or a mine or something like this. Yeah. It happened so often before. Also, we have more mines, more landmines right now. You might struggle with them in the first place, but usually they're completely fine to avoid. And there would be our credits for our boombox, which we missed last time. If you remember, we just missed one credit. You could also get it like this, and then buy it in the contract itself. But yeah, now we can just take our things, head back to the entrance. Always try to place your things on the elevator or on the flamingo or whatever transporting device you have in the map, so you can save a little bit of time. Or transport it via flamingo back to your ship. There's a Pew Pew. Pew Pew is a new enemy, which we don't already covered in this series. We will try to fight it, but as you see, Pew Pew has some defense mechanism, which are missiles. These missiles will be head off to us. I have to check this isn't a crate. What the thing is that it will engage in music. So you can lure it with you if you have a music box. Which is really, really nice. We might die here also. That I have to say first. And now I close it. And there are these missiles. These missiles are really, you see it right now, really heavy, because they have some sort of an RE damage by the explosion. So be careful with them. But when you turn down your music box, it will attack immediately. Usually when you have a ranged weapon, it's fine to fight around corners. Oh, sorry. It's fine to fight it around corners. Because, yeah. Because you can just dodge around a corner and then it will explode. It has usually a high value, so it should be worth try to fight. You see, but you can really easily die through something like this. So be careful with the Pew Pew. It's a cool enemy design, I think, but it might throw off new players because they don't really know when it glitches out or what to do with it. Usually what we also will do here, because I don't want to bother by dying too much, is bring it to a safe room, just leave it there and yeah, do your own thing unless you have a ranged weapon which allows you to fight it more efficiently. Because now we have a problem that this Pew Pew is right out of range from the music box. So we try to recover it. Exactly. Now we picked up the music box, so we can place it down without having a sound. And now the Pew Pew isn't aggroed by the music box being just out of range. it is some weird interaction, just to be aware of it. Yeah. Usually if there is a music box which is, or a boombox which is off, or a boombox which is far enough away, it doesn't trigger the pew pew. But things like this are really the most dangerous things right now for us. But you hear now the music again, so it's fine to pick up all these things and just head away, go on with our life. I will now use the boost, because this is a situation through which we really want to recover from quickly. So we have still some amount of time left in the early day. But it might be fine at a point like this to just also take back these things, which are already 170 of a quota, and go back to reset the day. But you won't do this here, because we have still many things to loot. I think the most interesting things are outside crates. Especially at nighttime. Also, if you have just a little bit of damage, you can, or you should be able to, you usually should be able to heal, while having boombox active and walking. I don't know if we are full yet. I thought we have 320, but maybe it was... Maybe it was just me. But yeah, we can still go to our outside crates. Like this one. And have a code. Again, write down the code. If you have something like this, where we have still the code from the last session, you may want to write it with some indication of the level, or you have something like a dashed line, so you know a new round begins, or something like this. We can also, we might do this, we can also go now and head on for the next area, which is really, really nice. Was a plan for our early game. I also want to see maybe just a little bit of some extra credits, and we will be able to buy us a range weapon, which would be very nice. Alright. Something like this. Perfect. I guess it should be fine. I don't know if we are there in time, because on nighttime we won't be able to buy anything anymore. So it might be a little bit risky, but we will try. A little bit of time left. And we can buy here from this robot rifle. Perfect. Nice. Thank you, mister. And there he goes to sleep. Thank you. Alright, so we have our rifle. Then we can try to fight the pew pew. Will, however, firstly take all of this at night time. Oh no, I placed it down there. That's also a thing, you can't be killed by an elevator, so be careful with this. And I will take some energy for our night vision. And then we try to fight a little bit. Again, it is completely fine to just collect things. Then I would rather go for digging and mining and all these things. But collecting has lost so much value that it really is hard to reach Quota like this. And now you see you can dodge differently, just go out of range. Have a little bit of a pew pew yourself. And heal again. Usually you want to have a good angle. For example, like this. And then after dodging around the corner, you usually can fight it. I would rather dodge one more time than one less time. So just play it safe with these guys. And yeah, you see they're very high value as said before. So it is really worth fighting them if you are able to. But as you saw also before, I would only do it if you have already a ranged weapon. Otherwise, I just want not bothering with them. Alright. Now we can also test. Yeah, we're still healing. And we just take this one for explanation reasons and head on to our next zone. So we may loot there a little bit more with higher value. And we still reached back the point where we were earlier. Also, that's an interesting thing. And you saw with a ranged weapon it's way easier to kill all the crawling enemies because you can still fight while having them out of reach. There is a doppelganger. So the German word for clone or something like this, clone or mimic. So a copy of your appearance. It usually also uses your skin nowadays. Earlier you can also by scanning it. Also you could yeah, like a mimic discover it, but now yeah, it's not that easy anymore. However, you can still fight them. They are not that difficult, but on higher tiers they can dash. What I did just there, by picking up and placing this sketchy substance, when you will have the night substances, you really want to pick them up and place them down so they get registered as picked up and won't disappear on the next day. Otherwise, night substances will disappear on the next day. Now, at night, we might just wait here for 8 AM, because then a new day starts, and when we will die right now, we might take off or die because of the new reviving system. But yeah. But like this, we can just start a new day, get our survival bonus, and try now to fight our doppelganger. Also, we see there is a crawler. We really want to place down these things, as I said before. Just also dash through these enemies, because you have completely iframes like in other games. And yeah. Then you can already kill them. Also, they are a very high value, so you really want to fight these again. Similar like to our creatures. And we saw here is a crawler. We can lure it outside on our terms again, so it should be fine for us to kill it, even without taking any damage and healing in the meantime. What else? There is a crawler, but I'm really interested by, or really intrigued by this one, because this thing you see there, again, try to make piles, so you have shorter ways to run, and always scan so that you will be safe. This teleport units you really want to find and activate, because now we have a direct port to our medbay. I know it's things I said in the earlier episodes, but I guess for beginners you can't do too much. You can just press E here to teleport to medbay, or to the another tier 2 zone if you have unlocked this as well. And now we already can place down all these things, and especially all these corps give us the necessary value that we need. So we really want to put all these things in. Again, you might consider putting them in the fridge directly, so you have a little bit more of an overview of your loot and ship. Also, the two-handed things you want to bring later on, or pick up last, so you can't pick it up also with a full hotbar. Alright. We will heal now for a minute, and yeah. when we are full, we want to head on again for more adventure. For example, this crate. A pretzel. And there we have our crawler friend. We can dodge out. And when we dodged out, it isn't that difficult anymore. Also again, you can just explode these with a ranged weapon. So there's one more reason to have at least one of them in your inventory at all means. Because different things can be easier to fight with a range or melee weapon, but I'm usually the fan of a range weapon. But I have someone in my team which really enjoys being more like a tanky melee weapon guy. And yes, I guess it's personal preference at that point. Sorry, I just had to answer their message. But yes, head on. What was here? Here was just a crate. We can take this delicious ramen, or hopefully delicious ramen. Alright, we have here a pew pew case. And also a difficult or somewhat difficult pew pew case, because there are hatchlings. And we first want to try these hatchlings. Try to kill these hatchlings. I don't know what my brain was there. Also, buried loot. You really want to excavate all this buried loot. For example, you get a nice slice of pizza. Alright, what do you want to do? You see this pew-pew there? You really want to avoid hitting the pew-pew in the first time. If there are different enemies. For this it would be okay-ish, but yeah. And now you really want to dodge out. Have a nice line of sight. Dodge out again. Have distance between you and the explosion. And you really want to hit the angle right, because otherwise it might be so that the first missile just heads out and completely explodes you, and on more difficult tiers just completely throw you over and wipe you immediately. So yeah. But long story short, as always, try to play it safe. Again, dodge one more time as necessary than one least time, like this. Just play it completely safe, and when you are clear, then you can kill it. And like this, just collect completely full inventory of new loot, which is worth your time. We can bring it also over. Right now, we have still 1 day left to reach our 900 quota, but at this pacing we should be completely fine. Again, you would have only a 550 quota if you were playing the days nicely and not that pushy as I do right now, but yeah. Also again, You really want to be time efficient, so at nighttime we can bring all this stuff back. But for now we really want to fight and make use of our daytime, so we don't have any worries about the night crawlers, which will spawn at midnight and which we don't want to fight yet. And we have a nice spawning of the code, so we can already head back and go for the next higher tier, or play a safe one right now, so we can still loot a little bit more. For example, we want to still take these back. Also, toy dino might be worth much. Also here, if you already are familiar with the dodging, you can play it very nice. Just be clear, you really want to dodge first and come into your pattern before attacking. At least that's for me. So I really want to dodge a little bit more than less, so that nothing like this happened, where you get, surprised. Or like this perfect example where you should scan always your complete environment before doing anything like I did there. Hey, come back, little guy. Come back, little guy. Also, why did I stop there with the buried loot? There he is. I stopped because I want to make you aware that these can be, if you dig them out and there are these chests, they can be mimics, so be careful with these ones. But now we got a plushie. It usually is dig up in one of these chests, so if you're looking for them, this crab plushie, I don't know if it is always the same spot. I don't think so, because there might be different spots that it can be in. But I also had it here multiple times by now. So it might be that there are some more or less fixed spawn points. Yeah. Also, again, take the free loot. Bring it back to your crossroads or T-sections or something like this, where you can easily take your time later on to bring everything back at night time. Again, your crates. And yeah, then everything should be fine. And also, in a case like this, you can use your time to still heal a little bit on the walking. For now, we really want to bring everything back to this point, so that we are not get surprised by night walkers. If you have something like this, where you just before midnight, you really want to stay in a relatively safe area like this one even more. Because I guess I saw something also there. Because there will be night walkers spawn with an animation. Alright, not for us. But yes, there will be Nightwalker spawn with an animation, so you have also a little bit of time to react. But just to be aware, they can open doors different than other. So there, for example, is a Nightwalker. You can fight them if you really want to. They can be good get into a dodging pattern. We will have relatively easy stamina right now, or loose stamina right now. Loose. We have 2 less stamina to dodge consistently, and yeah. So I will get healed fully before I approach this Nightwalker. We try to fight it. It's for now similar to other creatures where you really don't know where it is. Does it go outside? I think it headed there outside, which is really nice for us right now. Then we won't approach it. But yeah, you usually want to dodge it like any other mob. Just let it go to you, dodge the attack backwards or sidewards or something like this, and go into a nice pattern. I will try to fight this one once. If I die, I won't bother anymore until it's daytime again. You really want to have your music box on you. Guess it's heading in now again. Exactly like this. You want to dodge backwards a little bit. And then you can fight it if you don't have cooldown on your weapon. Holy fucking crap. Yeah, it is also worth much, but for now we can't use these corps because we don't have our shrink ray yet. So we really don't want to fight them unless we have a shrink ray and time to bring everything back. So that's what I do now. Be aware also at nighttime, for some maps they can be around these locations near your ship. For I guess this map, so it's the very first beginner map, it won't be the case. But for different maps they can be, for example for this, they can be on the outer islands or even roam to your location or to your starting location. So be aware just that at nighttime you aren't really safe anywhere in completely. They can roam to you, but for example here they won't really be that often or roam to, but they can be kited to this area, especially in multiplayer it happened. And same thing for Medbay. They can enter Medbay on their own. I have it happened before. It nearly wiped our team completely, so be aware of this as well. But again, not for the starting maps, so don't have to be afraid about this, at least for this location. And similar to the last night, it's now that far into the night that we won't go out for any risky things, and instead take our music box back to Medbay and skip the rest of the night because I already put everything up here. So we can just bring it in. Place everything down. Have a look then how much quota we are still missing, if even, so that we get an overview about how much quota we still need. And we already have enough quota, that's very nice, so we can play it really safe. take our things, music box and stuff, and have a look again for our code, 483. So access level 2 is 483, and we can familiarize us a little bit with the next area and maybe loot a little bit of it, but nearly we really want to just get a hang of things, so we won't play it that risky. Also, again, from here on, oxygen will be a thing. There are recharging stations for your suit, as well as here downstairs there are recharging stations uniquely. And you see it here, there is a shark, a big white sharky. Oh no, where it headed? There's a big white sharky. You can scan it. Every, or not every, but many tier 3 things have more difficult things. Wow, thanks. More difficult enemies, unique enemies like this shark. Also to the left here is directly oxygen replenisher, so use this recharger station. It's really easy to get. Also there's another fish. And yeah, you usually want to have something like a little bit of a base. Like music box next to a recharger or something. And then just clear the area around a little bit. Here are these lasers. Can jump over it, but it happened that you just hit it a little bit and they do really a lot amount of damage. But you can find ways around. So there's a crawler right now. We can fight this crawler, but you really want to avoid lasers that are necessary, because these two jumps we can completely ignore if you just go around the corner. So again, familiarize you with the map layout. Here's one oxygen directly in the first corridor. Here's a big room, and here's another corridor. Something like this we won't avoid. We will avoid if we can. Here is another corridor with one jump to take, but there is again an oxygen recharger. So there are two very early on, and we want to try to head back a little bit. This one we will also find if you go from the starting direction to the right, and then through this room you will be able to get it. Now I'm a little bit in a struggle because I can't take everything back, so I bring it back to the first room. See what is the most value, so we leave our mayonnaise and replenish our oxygen one more time before heading back. So again, left directly to the corridor. On the right side, just one room. And through the next room, we have there another oxygen replenisher or recharger. These are the very early on. There is one. I guess they are mostly free for every map, but there is one in the middle, very back. So you can use this as well if you push more in, but yeah, And here you want to sprint a little bit so the shark can't get you if you have the shark nearby. And yes. For today, also recharge every time you come in here. It doesn't stop just because you're in here, just recharge. Yeah. For now, it's completely fine. I showed you the recharger stations for the last tier. This we can again fight now with a ranged weapon from land, but we can't shrink the corpse, so it isn't necessary right now. And yeah, we have still a little bit of time left, but we will head out now because we have still very much quota over. And yeah, we just want to get our quota done for now, so we can go in with a fresh 3 new days. And I guess it won't be... It will be one more quota of 2,000... of 1,250. We will see it in a minute. Also try to skill. Stamina is really nice, or you can skill range damage. But stamina is nice for dodging. And yeah. Next quota, I guess we will be able then, after this 1,250 quota, to buy us the shrink ray, which should be goal, the next goal after boombox and a range weapon, so you can shrink corpses like the Nightcrawler and be really efficient with all the killing you do to get the most value out of it. Alright, for now we just sell everything which we have here, all this large value corpses first. Again, try to not oversell. These 20 corpses will be very nice to even out things. So feel free to stack them a little bit. Also 30, that's 50, we have something like 39, it's like 70, no, like this, and we have even 100. Now we can put in this one, for example, in the pizza slice. So we have 70 left, which is, these 3 are 60. And now you get an idea why I was earlier so approached for sorting all these things, because now we don't have 10 left, but we can do a 19 and an 11 banana, and 19 pickles, and 2 of these. Oh, I just missed. Just missed it. Alright, then we take this. 99, we have 111. And this is 50, which is nice. Just 120 thing. Don't know if we have a 20 thing over. But we can take then take an 8 and then 13. Alright. So now we can also put things that we want to sell immediately next time here. And stack these things with a value like 8 or a value like 15 or something. Basically everything which is some sort of low value earlier than 20, so that we can even out our quota better long term. And these higher values you want to sell immediately, or weird values like 17. And we can put it here on a pile, so next time we just know that we can sell all of these. And yeah. All right. You can finalize. And we can see that we have now a 100 credit reward, which would be enough. I don't know if it is that good, but it would be enough for a medgen, which might be worth the money nowadays, because this one decreases your revive time and allows auto revive for multiplayer. So yeah, it is really nice to have if you have multiplayer settings or a multiplayer group. I think I would take this even before the shrink ray, but also you will have credits for every player, so you can maybe have one saving the money already for the shrink ray and buy it, and somebody can buy the medgen or something like this. You can really better yeah, spread it out. And yeah, our next goal is to do one more for 1250 and then one more for 1600. So we unlock tier 2, and with this we can skip then our quota back and forth. So I guess we can try to do it in the next video, but I don't know. We will see how many we have over. And yeah, for now, that should it be. I really want to thank you for watching. I hope this second playthrough up to this point helps you to get into the early game. From now on, again, as long as you have a boombox on you, you should be able to do it. I believe in you. And with this, have a nice day. Enjoy playing Sketchy Contract, and yeah, see you next time. Ciao, ciao.